And welcome again to another edition of Girls Inc. Videos from Home. So for today's video, we are celebrating Girls Inc. Week. So we are very excited because Girls Inc. Week means that we usually pick a topic, Girls Inc. picks a topic, and we celebrate it with you. And so for this year, we are celebrating something called civic engagement. And so civic engagement can mean lots of things, but for me, what it means is that getting involved and helping and knowing that you have the power as kids, as adults, to change either your community, change the world. And so getting out there and voting or doing the census, getting involved in different things in your community to help out. And so right now that we are at home, I think that the most important thing that we can do, or one of the most important things that we can do, is help our environment and make sure that we're leaders in that. And so what we are doing is we're going to create a compost bin. And composting can sound a little bit hard because some of us don't have huge bins or big trash cans, but you can make a compost bin right at home, and I'm going to teach you how. All I needed was a container that I previously bought with coffee. You can use a container that you have at home, and it has a lid so it gets to be sealed, and you can compost so many things. So you're already recycling the container to use for composting, but then you can compost things or save the scraps of like nut shells, peanut shells. You can save banana peels, you can save vegetable peels, you can put stale bread, you can do coffee grounds that have already been used, and instead of those just being thrown in the trash and ending up in a landfill, you are recycling those back up, putting them in different plants, in soil, and making those nutrients that were originally in those things back into nature. And so that is awesome because you can do that at home. And so stay tuned because I'm going to teach you how. Alright, so for my coffee container, I'm going to rinse off the small little particles that were left over from me finishing the coffee. And so I'm going to use a little soap, a little water, and rinse that off. You don't really need to scrub or anything, just a gentle wash. And do this for any container that you use, whether that's, a coffee container or something else. Make sure that it's completely rinsed out. And that's it. Our second step is to dry our container. And so we just want to make sure that it's dry. Use a paper towel. And then I want to make sure that we know that this is a composting bin, and so I want to create a label for it. You can create a label that is just made out of white paper. I kind of just bent it, and I'm going to cut the paper so that it fits onto my bin. And so I'm just going to use some tape, and you can always decorate yours. You can use wrapping paper, you can use old newspaper, something fun, and make it more creative. I kind of just wanted to show you what you can do. I just used some white paper, like I said, the flowers. You can decorate it with anything, and of course making sure that you know that it's a compost bin, so I would write compost on there. You finished your decoration, you put the lid back onto whatever container that you used, and now we make holes. So I've previously already made 2 holes. I can use scissors. Since my plastic lid is very thin, I am able to make holes with the end of my scissors. Make sure that you're very careful. You can also make holes with a screwdriver. Again, these are going to be tiny holes, but we do want to make about 10 of them. We want some breathing room for our compost so that it doesn't go bad and that it doesn't stick up too much. And so I'm making them with a screwdriver. Again, my plastic is pretty thin, but if you have really thick plastic, you can ask your parents and they can help you drill some holes with a drill. And so again, depending on how big your container is, you might need more holes, you might need less holes, but if it's just one of these small containers, about 10 holes is going to be enough. And so there you have it. We've made these holes, and now our compost, if we either take it out that same day and put it on our plants, it would be awesome, but it can last up to a week without going super bad. So because those holes are creating that breathing room for our stuff. So you can store this outside, you can store this anywhere, but here I am adding an old lime that I had. I had some old coffee grounds, and I'm going to include the filter in there, and then a toilet paper roll. And so now I'm going to close it up, and you can either keep it outside, keep it under your sink, keep it somewhere where you can see it so that you're able to take it out. And some of those things will degrade after a while, and so that's when they will be ready to put on your plants, on the ground, and you can feed them these things for some extra nutrients. So you just want to put that on 1 to 2 inches of soil on the top. There you have your compost bin. Enjoyed our tutorial and that you start composting. I know that I will. It seemed harder, and now with some online research I realized that it was not that hard, and that I had most of those things at my house anyway. So I hope you try it too, and I will link the website that I went on so that it tells you what are some of the good things to compost and some of the bad things that you should not compost: meat, dairy, fish, things that will go bad really fast, rot. We don't want those things for composting. But other than that, check out the website. Thank you so much. And I did spell compost wrong, just an FYI, but then I went back, changed it. So throughout my video, compost has an extra E at the end. Don't need it. COMPOST. That's all. Thank you for watching. Tune into our next video tomorrow. And as always, please subscribe. Bye.